All right, welcome back. And this is Breakfast Daily. We are going to talk consumer tech. Now, today on Consumer Tech segment, we're looking at digital transformation. You see, these days where vaccines have become the talk of the day, your business also needs to be vaccinated so that it doesn't fall into, disease conditions that are irreparable. I've been joined in the studio by Hannah Kwanzaa, who is a tech consultant, and she's going to help us to understand digital transformation, the vaccine that your business needs. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy New Year. I'm fine.
It's good to see you. It's first time in the new year.
Yes.
All right. And so what vaccination should we be looking at as business?
Thank you. So we have started, it's quite early in the year. Some businesses are actually coming back to the office.
Yeah.
And it's important that we have an expectation for this year, even personally and also business-wise. Now, we've seen the past trends where there's businesses are trying to or working and adopting like tedious processes, something that you could easily touch with technology and ensure that there's a smooth run of things, but we haven't seen it so.
Yeah.
Some people also have the idea that it is not for me, it's for the big guys. Let's leave the small businesses out of it.
Yeah.
When you talk about digital transformation, it's nothing really super. All we are saying is like it's a continual process. That's the first thing that we need to know. That it wouldn't stop, because as you are moving in your business and you are doing certain things, you are opening a new product line, certain things are coming in, certain processes also have to be automated for a smooth run of things. So it would never stop, but it's bringing in this technology to, as it were, either remove or complement your existing processes. So people thinking about digital transformation, we are not just saying throw away everything that you know.
Already,
Of course, there's a process, and technology would revolve around your existing processes unless otherwise stated. Now, the question comes to why is it a needed vaccine, as I put it, is because we were in this country. We saw what 2020 did to us. When you check statistical.com, several surveys, we've seen that businesses that were actually or had embraced digital transformation were actually the ones that were earning. Because everybody is at home and we don't know what the future holds. Day in, day out, we are hearing like new variants of this whole COVID thing.
Now we have Delta Cron.
I even lost count. So it will come to a point nobody knows the future except God. So we have an issue that we may have something like that, another big break on our hands. We don't know about it. So it hedges you, sort of builds resilience for the future. You don't know exactly what is coming. But the conversation hasn't really been started, and people also think it's not for me, it's quite expensive and all that. So I would like to touch on reasons why it's needed.
Let's get into it.
So we have to also consider cost. Some people would say that, oh, these technology guys, they are expensive. Yes. It's yes and then a no, based on the scale of your business. If you're talking about like a big enterprise, like all you have your big banks in the Ghana, we are talking about a different thing. And if you talk about the SMEs, this is the local guys selling or producing clothes just at the junction. Now we've seen that if you are building up cost elements, I that have embraced technology, or say I have a virtual store, I only have a machine perhaps in my house and I'm sewing from there. I wouldn't have to be costing elements as a sales agents at my multiple shops across town into the price of a simple apparel that I'm producing. But if it's on the business side, there's also reduced cost, because if certain processes would have taken you ordinarily 20 minutes to send a batch of files, somebody has to walk to the 10th floor and put it there. Somebody has to come down. It's sort of, you are working, but you are producing less. You are not actually being productive. Whereas if you had like a system network sharing in place, or document sharing, yes, you can be able to move documents easily. Now, it comes also to the part where you have to expand your reach of business. When you have embraced digital transformation, expanding your reach is relatively easy. Say I have I bake, so I have a page on Instagram. So what happens is, if I have to let's say, drop in a new menu, it's easy for me to communicate that to my base. Now, if I'm having several shops around town, it means this product that I've produced from the factory, it has to be moved to these shops, like to also serve the market. And if nobody comes to bypass there, they wouldn't even know that I'm there.
A new product there.
But if you're in the virtual space, you are having that exposure. Now, in terms of the big business side, the reach is having to open. Now, we've seen some banks are actually closing up branches. Because I foresee a future where the banks will just have a headquarter and just two central. Yes, we are coming over to the digital age. Then it now comes to the point where you are looking at customer service, trying to know your people. We have, back in the day, your mom who is typically selling something knows the customer that comes. The moment they are coming, they are mentioning the name. Hey, Kweku, you know, they know them. And those business processes is not actually far from technology. Because as your customer base grows, you will need to manage some of these things because people enjoy the personal relationship you have with them. So you could talk about CRMs, having CRMs in place that you can know Kweku has visited the shop, these are his preferences. So that if we know that this has been what he's been buying from us, we could tailor specific certain products to Kweku's timeline, then he to feel like we know Kweku personally, although he's somebody that has been passing through, you know, once in a while. But we've not seen that. The customer walks in, we buy, we don't have any information on the customer. We are not even collecting, there's business intelligence to several of them. We are not even collecting, okay, how has sales been and everything. So we've seen that we're actually opening up branches in places where people don't actually need. Because if you happen to put a branch here, say as a bank or something, and your customers are not in this area, you wouldn't know. So some of these processes are really on the high side, depends on where you fall in terms of the business scale, but then there's also the smaller, simple applications that can help you get on. And moving on to the side of convenience, you can see that there's some people that are not embracing this convenience factor. They like things the old way. Struggle has been trying to get Ghanaian businesses to come digital. Because it's like, no, we still prefer the stamp. If you want an invoice, travel to our office, let us stamp it for you. You know, even if you need to submit a proposal, you have to physically be there. And it's sort of like pulling us behind because the world is moving and it wouldn't wait for you. So some of these things could be started small, something as relative as, okay, how many customers do you have? Do you have any idea? Even where they live, because if you know this information about your customer, and you can't keep everything in some
notebook somewhere,
notebook, flat file somewhere. No, it will gather dust with time, and data loss. The side effects of not coming digital or automating some of this process outweighs really the benefit or the cost that you would have it in trying to get some of these things done.
Fantastic. So we need to reduce, it will help us to reduce costs.
Exactly.
It's going to help us to expand the reach of our business, provide a personalized shopping experience.
You could put that in. So for people who are shopping, blah, blah, blah. It's not really about, when you say cost, people feel is money. Time is also a costing factor when it comes into some of these things.
Fantastic. Listen, Hannah, how can people get in touch with you if you want to
find
Instagram. Out more? Okay,
I'm on Instagram at AmaBlueKey, and also on Twitter. You can just reach out. Let's start talking about your business.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we're speaking to Hannah Quansah, also AmaBlueKey, of course, and she's a tech consultant, and she's been helping us to understand how it is that we can vaccinate our businesses against, you know, all kinds of diseases that will seek to threaten the future of our businesses. I have a couple of messages that I want to read to you just quickly. People engaging with us on social media. We have Emma Eshun. She says, this was an earlier conversation we had on rainwater. She said, please, all the rainwater is polluted. Recent harvested rain is smelly and dark. Climate change seems to having a big effect on coastal areas as well. Emma, thank you for that message. Kriti Critical is saying that when you detect a broken tap with water gushing out, you call Ghana Water, but they don't mind you. Okay, that message there coming from Critical on social media. And finally, we also have one who came on our WhatsApp line. This is Nene Dote. Nene Dote says, good morning. I really appreciate your concern on water so much. I pray that our leaders will listen to you. Thank you. Well, thank you for sending in those messages.